Hello, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, September 30th races at beautiful Hastings Racecourse, and we're hoping for good weather. There's a little bit of rain in the forecast, but
we've been really lucky. Had a great September. This is the last day of September, so maybe it'll hang on, get us to the end of the month. 6 days. This is the last day of racing.
Yeah, we only got 5 more after today.
Five after today.
Got a long weekend of racing the following weekend. I think it's the 6th, 7th, and 8th, and then the 13th and 14th to close it out. But still lots of stakes races going on. So it should be a good day. We've got a good stake race today.
Today, yeah.
Colts and Geldings from the CTHS sale of 2010 will be running a mile on the 16th, and a good allowance event featuring last year's BC Derby winner Northern Causeway, as he attempts to get back in the winner's circle, but he's got his hands full with some pretty nice horses as well. So
that is a good
two
race,
excellent races on tap today, so it should be an exciting card. Let's get
right into it.
Let's get to the first race. I got some $3,000 claimers. It's set to go 6.5 furlongs. Got a field of 8. I've gone to the 6. Hurry on home. I think there's going to be enough speed to help him out. It was claimed for 2,400 and ran a good second to Huffman, but no pace in that race. Huffman really got things easy on the head end, built up a big lead, and Hurry on home couldn't quite get there in that 9-horse field. A little smaller field. Got Mr. Collaborator in here to bother Huffman, and it might just turn the tables. And so I think Hurry on Home might be able to get the job done. I've put the 3-horse Surprisal, who will go back in blinkers. He's raced in blinkers throughout most of his career, but his last 3 or 4 starts, he hasn't had blinkers. But I think that could be the key ingredient to him winning today. So definitely give Surprisal another shot, even though he didn't run well from the 9-hole. I liked him last time. I know you liked him. And he ran a little flat, but I think maybe the blinkers are the key. Let's get this horse, give this horse another shot. And I put the 2-horse, Mr. Collaborator, who really, folded after he did have some pace pressure, but still he needs to be better than he has been. But I still got to respect the connections, so I'm going to put him in for 3rd. I went 6, 3, and 2.
I put a horse you mentioned on top, Huffman, who beat Hurry on Home last time.
I was just banking on Mr. Collaborator going with him, and that may
setting it up for
somebody else. Home. But I just.
But when I look at the form of these horses, the one that kind of seems to have a good last race was Huffman. So I put him on top. I did put Mr. Collaborator in the 2nd spot. I don't know. This was like my favorite horse last year. He was so solid. He
won every time he ran.
Yeah, that's why you like him.
Good horse to be a favorite.
Yeah, every time he ran, he was so honest, and every time he ran, he was right there. And he just hasn't been the same, obviously, this year. But as you mentioned, I still respect the connections. Maybe Amadeo Perez can get a little bit more out of him, switch things up a little bit. So I put him in 2nd. And in the 3rd spot, I put Evaluate, the 8-horse of the Terry Clyde barn. Another horse that was definitely a little tougher last year. He's had trouble finding the winner's circle this year, but he's an old class horse. He's got it in him to definitely be part of this race. So I got him in 3rd. It's 7, 2, and 8 for me. On to the 2nd race, 3-year-olds, $15,000 open claiming. Another interesting race, good race here. I have gone to the 3 Doublets, a horse that's been running, won a maiden special weight here. Then an allowance race, then the Derby trial, back in another allowance race. There's a horse that seems to find trouble. It seems like every race he's in some kind of trouble. Even last race with Mario on him, he was in some kind of trouble. And I think with a clean trip, he can get the job done. Maybe Alex Marty, the bug boy, taking over. Maybe he can find kind of a good way around there for him. I think the horse won't mind going long. And he's in light, too. He gets in with 112. They bought the weight, and he gets the 5 pounds for Alex Marty. So a lot of things pointing his way. The 2nd spot, I put Yes He's Trouble, the 5-horse. This is a horse last time that since Jody Rawson claimed it off Greg Tracy, they gelded him. They've done a few things to him to try and figure him out, because he is a pretty nice horse. And Alex Marty last time picked up this. Richard Hemmel booked off. He'd gotten hurt in the gate or something. Alex Marty picked this horse up and rode maybe not his best race.
Yeah,
moved him too soon and got run down late. But he looked to me like he had a lot of run in him, and with a little bit more timely ride, should have been right there. So I have him in the 2nd spot. And in the 3rd spot, I went to the 4 Golden Surge, one coming up from Seattle. Been winning for 15,000, win 2 in a row for 15,000 down there. Comes up here, runs for 15. I have in the 3rd spot Jim Penny, a Hall of Fame trader in Washington State, always has them ready. His horses are always ready to go. A lot of times they're favorite, they're well placed. All those kind of things always look good. I'm not sure how the competition for 15,000 is in Seattle compared to Hastings Park. I think here it's a little bit tougher.
Oh, of course it is.
But I put him in third spot. But he does pick up Amadeo Perez, so definitely a lot of positives there. 3, 5, and 4 for me in the second race.
Yeah, I'm sure over the next 3 weekends you're going to see a lot more of the Seattle
Invaders, yeah.
horses coming up with their meet ending, and you get trainers like Jim Penny and Doris Harwood or Frank Lucarelli or Tim McCann or someone shipping horses up here, and they're not going to ship their horses. They know they need to bring a horse here to
that's live.
That's live, not some tired horse. They got to bring a horse that's got some run to it if they're going to win here. So do respect them when they come up. Take a look at them. In this race, I agree with you with the 3-horse double it though. The big class drop, running his stablemate Golden Triumph. That was a tough race. Prior to that, he was in a stake, trying to make a Derby horse out of him, or hoping that he could be one.
Yeah.
Going to go in blinkers. I just think he's the horse to beat. I like double it. I put the 2, Lord Henry, who's been on a good roll of late. A couple of wins in his last 3 starts. Got to respect the fact that he's got speed. He's got top form right now, and he's going to be in position, which is those are 3 big pluses. So I'm going to put him in for second. I put the 1, Stormy Bob. He too was in good form, but the 9-hole really compromised him last time. He had no position at all. Still managed to rally to be fourth, beating not a whole lot of the real estate. So I think if he could get some luck with the pace, he could be better from the rail.
He already won one of these too, just a couple back.
Yeah,
So
and he's reunited with a winning rider, Pedro Alvarado. No slam at Enrique Gonzalez, but Pedro's the guy who's been getting along with his horse. And you got to respect those rider-horse combos. So I went 3, 2, and 1. But I agree with you. The 3 double it looks pretty good in here. On to the third race, got some $7,500 older horses going 6.5 furlongs. I'm going to land on the 3-horse Ishkar, another dropper out of the Dino Condolino's barn. Good runner-up effort to Bear Rock and Roll going along. Going to shorten up to 6.5. Not a whole lot of 6.5 furlong for him on this colt, or gelding by Bernardini, but still, I think he's going to be good enough to win at this level. I'm going to put the 2, Cherokee Tier. This horse I'm sure will be better second time out off the big year and a bit layoff. Horse ran a very good race, I thought. Ran a good second to Joy the Lord, who had a pile of races this year. And so I put him in for second, and I put Joy the Lord in for third. I see 3, 2, 4 being I think those are your 3 horses. The only one stranger that I didn't put in was a 6-horse, A Lasting Peace, who could sneak away on the front end.
Yeah.
And at the right price, you might want to take a shot on A Lasting Peace, because there's not a ton of speed in here. And he could be the one that runs on. But I do like Ishkar. I went 3, 2, 4.
I have exactly the same horses, same orders. Ishkar, as you mentioned, dropping, looks tough. Cherokee Tier, second off a long layoff, looks tough. Joy the Lord ran a big race last time. Horse has won 13 races in his lifetime. He's an honest old guy. Just a quick shout to Super Steve, a horse that's dropping down from 15. He's been running the endurance races all year long. Maybe a short back. He should be part of the pace scenario. He could be tough. Dynastrol's coming off a win, A Lasting Peace, as you mentioned. Could definitely maybe sneak away with it. Good, Bad, and Uglies win 2 in a row.
A good competitor group. A lot of horses in top form. Usually at this time of year, you get 2 or 3 that are in good form, about 5 or 6 that are just tailing off, just
falling apart.
And when can the season end? Type of, they can't wait for the van to show up.
Exactly, staggering to the wire.
To get turned out, but not this race. This race, they're all in good form, and they're holding it.
A race you might want to go a little deep in, because there is, as I mentioned, even horses coming off a couple wins or whatnot.
Like Iskar's suspect. I like the horse, but
I like him too, but he's not a
still
lock.
6.5. He hasn't shown me a 117 flat yet, so he's been routing. So but a horse I do like.
On to the 4th, Maiden 10,000 for 2-year-olds. Another one. I've gone to the outside to Mark here. Dino Condolino's, Jeff Birmingham. Nice, just got beat a neck by After Court and Go for Guinness. 2 decent 2-year-olds around these parts. After Court's a pretty nice little horse. Now drops into 10,000 off a fairly sizable layoff, couple months. Dino knows how to get one ready. He's probably just waiting for the right spot to come up. When this horse is ready, they're going to make sure he wins, and I think he does that today. I have him on top. The second spot, I put Sun Soleil out of the Robbie Anderson barn. Third, first out for Maiden 20, just got beat a couple lengths. Second, Unico got away on him last time. Passed him down the lane. He was favorite that day. He'll be one of your lower priced horses, but for good reason. He definitely fits in here. And the third spot, I put 6, Sacred Cause, out of the Craig McPherson barn, Alexander Marty. Fourth to Scamming. Third behind Sun Soleil last time. tough to find some positives in this race. I think those are the 3 horses. I got 10, 1, and 6.
Yeah, I've gone to the 1, Sun Soleil. I'm hoping he's going to improve off of that race because it wasn't. I thought a pretty good effort, but the horse had only had 1 3.5 furlong run. It was just an average, just kind of was in mid-pack and kind of stayed there and, ran third, maybe passed the horse, but still it was, this horse, first 2-turn try I thought was pretty good and was pressured all the way. Maybe the rail wasn't the place to be and this horse was pinned down on the inside and was always under pressure. There was 3 of them across the track that day and he hung in for second. I know Uniqua had a couple races under his belt and, not the, excuse me, the best of form.
A big advantage.
But still, it's a huge edge. But Sun Soleil, I'm going to hope that he improves it just a tad, and that's all he needs to win here. I put the 8-horse Irish Final in for second, a horse out of the Charlene Miller barn. Also exits that Uniqua Sun Soleil race. Didn't get the best of trips. 7 wide early, 4 wide final turn. That's as
not getting many
bad
breaks.
as it gets. That's as bad as it gets. He's well connected. He's by Finality out of a stakes-winning dam, Irish Sweet. She was very nice. He's had some nice horses throughout her career. She's kind of an older mare now. But this horse wouldn't surprise me at all to see this horse come back with a good effort. And you might get the right number on it on this one. Could be an 8 or 10 to 1 shot. And I put the 10-horse Mark in for third, or took full advantage of some fast fractions for 20 grand. The race really fell apart. Gopher Guinness went extremely fast.
Yeah, he went really fast.
21 and 3, 45 and 1. The last quarter of the race was 28 and 3/5. And so some back runners should be making some headway. And this horse just missed, but still, I don't see those kind of fractions in here. And the horse has class drop from 20 to 10, but post is a concern, so I don't want to take a short price on him when he did take advantage of a pace scenario, and now he's got the 10 hole on the class drop, and you're not getting any value.
He will be a short price.
Yeah, I think the value horse is the 8 Irish Final. But I went 1, 8, and 10. On to the 5th race, got some $3,000 fillies and mares going a mile and a 16th. Good field, 12 of them. Got 4 pages of them here.
Yeah.
And I've gone to the 5, Anadu. I think she's the best filly in the race. I'm hoping that she can get the distance. She's only tried it, actually, this is her 3rd try going long. She just had the 1 runner-up effort, but still, at this level, I think she's going to be dangerous down for 3,000. Running some boys last time. Just no races going for her. And so I think Anadu with Marlowe Dunn is going to be pretty dangerous on the stretch out. Put the 10-horse Holy Kuka in for second. Looks like has good speed. Ran 3 starts back, was an easy winner over Dream in the Dark and Rainbows in the Wood, who's also in this race. Then came back against $15,000 mares, got cooked on a hot pace, had a little bit of a time off, and then lost to a remarkably free who's like a little wind machine. She's like. She doesn't run very often.
Salty,
I think she's like 6 years old, or 5 or 6 years old, but she's like a 40% in the wing column.
She makes it count when she runs.
No, she does. And so, and this filly was running hard on the head end. As long as she avoids a pace tool with the 9, Fools Never Know, who's very fast, and then I think she's going to be dangerous as well. And I put the 11 Odd ZZ, who will likely be another one that takes advantage of any wild pace scenarios. Was a closing second to Dream in the Dark. Pace scenario didn't help her last time. The opening half was 49. Still managed to close up and get second. I liked her run that day against those fractions, and I think she's going to get a more honest pace. But she's going to get 11 other horses. She's got to pass, and it's going to be a real congestion with 12 horses. I went 5, 10, and 11.
I put the 10 on top, Holy Kuga. Been very honest since she got here. The one time that her 5th by 8 was for 15,000. She goes in for 3. She's definitely going to be a handful in here. Amadeo Perez taking over for departed Mary Gutierrez, as I mentioned. The second spot I put Lady Sasha. This is a horse that's very tough going long. She was part of the Handicap Series last year, the Route Series last year, run against the boys. Dropped down for 5,000, non-winners of the year, and won for fun, won by 6. Was claimed that day by William Levanaway. He got a little ambitious with her, ran her in the BC Cup Distaff, which she didn't really belong in. She's had some time off now, comes back for 3,000 going long. I think she's a big part of this. And then third spot, I put Odd ZZ, as you mentioned. Amadeo Perez had a runner-up effort on her last time. He has gone to Troy Taylor. He's riding all Troy Taylor's horses this weekend, pretty much. So he goes to Troy Taylor, but Richard Hamill takes over for Paddy Leaney. No downgrade there. Richard's been riding great since he came back. So 10, 4, and 11 for me. On to the 6th, the boys' end of the sale stakes for 3-year-olds. And this is a pretty interesting race, kind of a wide open event. I've gone to the 2 Ruffy Joe. He's really improved since breaking his maiden. It took him a while to break his maiden, but since he has, he's been running some tough races at Stolen Notice. Ran against Golden Triumph twice, who we're going to see in the next race. Only got beat 5 lengths from him last time, and they went in 16-2. Any kind of effort, 17-1 or something, probably going to win this race. Sorry, they're going long.
It's still that kind of an effort.
That kind of an effort is definitely going to be a big part of this race. I have him on top. In the second spot, I put Alberta Breeze out of the Craig McPherson barn. Another one's been running in way tougher races against Taylor's Deal and Stolen Notice, Golden Triumph, was just a few lengths back of Ruffy Joe last time, so I put him in second spot. Amadeo Perez has some options in here. He ends up going to Alberta Breeze, so maybe that kind of tipped me a bit that way. And in the third spot, I put a lightly raced Game 7, horse that it took him a while to kind of figure it out. But when he did it in a big way. That winning his last time for maiden 20 looked really professional, made a nice sweeping move around everybody and one going away. So he's definitely a horse that's starting to put it together, moving forward. A nice 63 buyer last time for Barb Heads. I have him in third, 2, 5, and 3 for me.
Yeah, I've got the same 3 horses. I've got Ruffy Joe on top. I agree. He's the best horse in here, I believe. And as long as he avoids a pace duel, which could occur. I mean, I see the 1 going. Royal Victor. Halo's Quest is going to be near the pace. Alberta Breeze, I'm sure. And even Dash Smartly likes to be race up near the lead. But Ruffy Joe, if this horse can avoid a pace duel, is your best horse. I mean, he's yet to go long. Some of the Gilded Times go long. They're definitely better at going 6 or 6.5, the Gilded Times. But Awesome again, of course, on the dam side is all distance. So, but Ruffy Joe, I think, is the best horse. I put the 3 Game 7 in for second. Definitely the blinkers off last time helped. Company change and blinkers off. This horse, got sloughed leaving the gate. Was way farther back than it ever should have been, and made this early half-mile move and was just gobbling up horses. And I know it was just a maiden 20, but
he made
like you
no
said,
mistake.
It was like you had to see the move to appreciate it. It was a very good run, and I think he's a horse that probably will do the same tactics, sit last, and there could be a very hot pace in here, and he might be able to take advantage of it. So I've got him in the second spot.
He's the one too that I think we've seen everybody else's race where he's the horse that's improving.
He's moving forward.
So he's kind of the wild card.
That was a big
one.
He ran his first races with blinkers, and he was just okay. But once the blinkers were removed, he was that was a dead track that day. That 1:18.2 was the fastest sprint of the day, and he ran good.
He's definitely going the right way. He's the wild card that he could definitely win this race.
And the 5-horse Alberta Breeze I put in for third. Definitely a horse that earlier this year would be, I think, a heavy favorite in this race, but his last couple of runs he's tailed off a bit. I know it's been against tougher company, but and as you mentioned, Amadeo Perez lands here. He rode Game 7 last time, but ends up on Alberta Breeze. But a horse that still has to prove it can go long. I mean, there's a lot of horses in here that are yet to go a mile and 16th, so it's a new game here, and we'll see how it works out. But I like Ruffy Joe. I went 2, 3, and 5. On to the 7th race, our co-feature, a nice allowance
Another
event.
good race, yeah.
Older runners here going 6.5 furlongs. I've landed on the 3 Golden Triumph. I'm pretty impressed with his 2 runs to date. Off the big layoff, he got beat a photo by Stolen Notice, but made no mistakes 3 weeks later when crushing a field of similar type allowance runners in 1:16.2. So I definitely like Golden Triumph. Not a lot of pace in here. You might have to deal with Brevard County, but to the outside, Pop Artist maybe. Northern Causeway has a bit of speed, but not. I don't think they want to use 45 flat type of speed, but the Golden Triumph I like. I put Northern Causeway in for second. He's been freshened up a bit. Works are good. Bill Anton Georgie down to ride for Len Kazmersky. Of course, they connected with the BC Derby last year. Yeah. But they're sprinting again, so I don't know if this is his best distance, but we'll see. And the 6, Jump Up and Kiss Me, I put in for third. He's a cool horse that continues to run good races in some tough spots, and regressed a little bit last time in the Randall Plate, but I think a return to a sprint will help Jump Up and Kiss Me. I've always liked him better going 6.5 to a mile. Like that sort of little bracket is, I think, where he's at his best. So I went 3, 5, and 6, but I like the up-and-coming Golden Triumph.
I put Jump Up and Kiss Me on top. I really like the move to Richard Hamill. Hamill's, as I mentioned earlier, been really on fire since he came back from knee surgery, and I just think this is the kind of horse he really fits.
He's been on him before.
Sitting kind of stock horse, right? So I like that move. Yeah, he rode him last year, or in Turf Paradise. Sorry, last winter.
Win on him.
That race in the mile is a lot better than it looks on paper. He ran a good race that day. and came back here in the Randall against Commander, who won by the length of the stretch. So I put Jump Up and Kiss Me on top. The second spot, as you mentioned, Golden Triumph. Really nice horse that came here for Dino in the Darley package. Made no mistake last time, that just crushed, win by 4.5, and definitely a horse that's going the right way. But there does seem like, I'm not sure how the pace is going to be in here. There is some horses that want the lead here.
That's the whole key, how the pace in
So if there is enough pace, then I think Jump Up and Kiss Me can pass him late. I think Golden Triumph of the pace horses can put everybody else away and maybe hang on for second. And Three Wood, hard knocking horse, always running at the end, will be coming late, and maybe he can get up for third, maybe second, maybe win it with the. So his best races have been with Amadeo Perez aboard. They've also been in the softest spots, is when Amadeo winds up on him. Coincidentally, I'm sure. But I put Jump Up and Kiss Me on top for Wayne Oliver, a good friend of the show.
Yes, he is. And the boys.
And the boys, Bazran.
Our good buddies, the Jeevan and Paul and Ron, the Bazran boys and their kids.
So 3 generations of owners.
There's tons of
really
Bazrans.
good.
They've been in there for a while.
Been in there for a while. Great supporters of
horses.
races. So
they got Wildcat coming up in the BC
premiers.
Next week.
Absolutely. So Jump Up and Kiss Me is the top horse for me. 6, 3, and 4. On to the 8th. In the 8th, I went way to the outside to number 11.
Avulsion.
Not because of the post. I went way to the outside to Avulsion. Was a really nice horse here last year. Would have made special weight first out, then came back, won optional 75 over Stormy Canuck and Out of the Clouds, who was the returning 2-year-old champion. Looked like he was going to be one of the nicer 3-year-olds. Kind of went by the wayside, got turned out, was in Santa Anita for the winner. Came back just once earlier this year in an optional 35. Ran third behind Dollar Waiting on a Dime and Stormy Canuck, 2 nice horses. Haven't seen him since then. Shows up for 5 non-winners of the year. If he's anything like the horse he's been in the past, it won't even be competition for him. He's going to win by many. Amadeo Perez, again, aboard for Troy Taylor. They got to be dangerous together, you figure. I put 11 on top. The second spot, I put the 5, Peace Bear, out of the Lenore Dubois barn.
You like that horse?
I do like Peace Bear. I always kind of throw Peace Bear in there. He'd been off a long time, been off a couple months since July. Just got a little tired late last time. Murray was on him. He led the whole way. Just got a little tired late. Ended up only losing by a couple lengths. But I think he's going to get a lot out of that race. His second race off the layoff, I think, will be pretty tough. He gets Marnie Williams aboard, so he's in light at 112. And in the third spot, I put number 3, Out of the Clouds. Another one I pick all the time. Another horse I like Out of the Clouds. These are
your people.
My buddies. Put Out of the Clouds. He'll be closing late. He's a really good closing sprinter. That's kind of like his game. He seems like a horse that you run long, but his best race is as a closing sprinter. Fernando Perez just went on him 2 back. He knows the horse. He's had some success on him in the past, so he's in third spot. 11, 5, and 3 for me on the nightcap.
I've gone to the 6, Raising Memo. I'm likely the distance might be a bit short for him, but I see quite a bit of speed in here with the 1, Vernon Cat, the 2, Bosco's Quick, the 5, Peace Bear. You got the outside horses coming, Matchable, and the 11, Avulsion. So I'm going to try Raising Memo coming from off of it. He was a distant second to Woundburn Stress, 2 back, but there was just no pace help that day. But I just think he's turned the corner. He's got good form right now. I'm going to try Raising Memo to win it. I agree with the 11, Avulsion. He's live. He's in a good spot, and I don't. The 11 hole isn't the best place to be, but if he's the best horse, he might be able to overcome it anyway.
He's trouble out there.
Yeah, no, he doesn't need the lead. He's shown he can just sit off the leaders and run a big race. And I put the 7 horse Charter Hill in for third. This horse is in and out of form. Not the most reliable type horse, but he still runs pretty good races, especially sprinting. I think he's better going 6.5 furlongs. They'll seem to be when his A races surface. So I went to 6, 11, and 7. I'll do it for the analysis of the Sunday, September 30th races at Hastings Racecourse. Next up on screen will be just a brief recap of what we picked throughout the day. And back in race number 1, I went with the 6 horse Hurry On Home. I went 6, 3, and 2. In the second race, I went to the 3, Double It, and I went 3, 2, and 1. The third race, number 3, Ishkar, 3, 2, and 4. In the fourth race, number 1, Sun Soleil, over the 8 and 10. The fifth race, number 5, Anadu on the class drop over the 10, Holy Kuga, and the 11, Odd ZZ. In the sixth race, I went to the 2, Ruffy Joe over the 3 and 5. In the seventh race, number 3, Golden Triumph. He's on a roll. See if he can keep it going. 3, 5, and 6. And the eighth and final, number 6, Raising Memo over the 11, Avulsion, and the 7, Charter Hill, 6, 11, 7.
And on to my picks. In the first, I went to the 7 Huffman over the 2 and the 8. In the second, I went with the 3 Doublet over the 5 and the 4. In the third race, I agree with Mike, number 3 Ishkar over the 2 and the 4. In the fourth race, I got a lot of horse on the outside today. I went to the 10 Holy Kuga over the 4 and the 11. In the fifth race, I went to the 10 Holy Kuga. Did I do that wrong? The fourth race, I went to the 10 Mark over the 1 and the 6.
Yeah.
The fifth race, I went to the 10 Holy Kuga over the 4 and the 11. In the sixth race, the sale stake, I went to the 2 Ruffy Joe over the 5 and the 3. In the seventh race, I went to the 6 Jump Up and Kiss Me over the 3 and the 4. And in the nightcap, I went to the 11 Avulsion over the 5 and the 3.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Barn Grill at 176th and 0 Avenue. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in.
Yep.
And Drew, we got a big 3-day weekend next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend we have some of our
Saturday,
champions
Sunday.
to be decided.
Yes,
in the
ballerina,
premiers. Ballerina, older girls and older boys. And Mary will be back for that day. Mary Guitars will be in town to ride Evelyn's Dancer in the ballerina and Commander in the
And
premiers.
don't forget to watch him this weekend. He's riding a lot
Santa
of live
Anita,
horses down at Santa Anita. Of course, Winning Machine also, who ran second to Taylor said it is in the
mile, yeah.
is in a big stake at Santa Anita as well. So lots of action this weekend. So do tune into your Hastings monitors as well as your simulcast monitors for Santa Anita at Belmont. So it's a huge weekend as we continue on the preview towards the Breeders' Cup.
And a great place to watch simulcast racing right here at the Derby Barn Grill.
On behalf of Drew, I've been Mike. Once again, thanks for tuning in here to Handicappers Corner, and we'll see you next time.
The name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do. This guy says the horse can do. If he says the horse can do.